Right, welcome to our weekly Let's Chat Solar video. My name is Gareth, I'm from Microcare, and we are at the Microcare factory pouring with rain outside, which we're very grateful for. And once again, today we're talking all things solar. In the last few weeks, we've been talking a bit about some of our products, introducing to our new 400 volt MPPT. Last week we covered our diesel controller. Now, many people think about solar and they talk about inverters and batteries and panels. And of course, we're introducing you to some of our other products. And today we're focusing on the solar pump controller. So, as always, like, share, and subscribe. And of course, if you have any questions regarding solar pumping, get a hold of us. We'd love to be able to assist you. Now, just to mention, there are a wide range of solar pump controllers. We are focusing on AC pump controllers. While we've been involved with DC pump controllers today, I'm speaking about AC pump controllers. And there's also a wide range of those controllers. Now, we typically are going for the controller that is used in a domestic or small farm, maybe an irrigation application up to about 5.5 kilowatts. So we're not talking about large pivot pumps. There is a limitation then on the pump that we are going to show you today. In fact, we're going to show you two pump controllers that we manufacture here at Microcare. We call them VSDs, variable speed drives. So it means that they can actually adjust to the frequency, adjust to the power requirements of the pump. And that makes them really, really efficient as well. As always, you can find out all details on our website or in our training manuals. The pump controller is such a good product. Often chatting to our R&D and tech support guys, they say this is one of our unsung heroes. It feels like we've got a few of those. But this one is all about maintaining water, the availability of water using the power of the sun. And it's an amazing product, very robust, very durable. In fact, we had a client drive all the way from Zimbabwe with his pump controller that's been running for 7-8 years to come and ask us, please, if we could repair it because it got really badly water damaged. And he waited in town here while we repaired it, and we went back for more years of usage. So, this is a life changer for many, many people. So, as always, you can find out more details in our training manual on our website. And I want to tell you a bit about our VSD pump controllers today. So this is what they look like. This one over here is the 1.5 kilowatt, 380 volt. I'll explain that to you in a few moments. Looks very plain and simple, but it's conformably coated inside. It's got some important LED indicators on the front. And these are important for us whenever you're on site and you're trying to problem solve, perhaps something wrong with the panels or with the water supply. Then these indicators on the front will show you that information. As always at Microcare, we've got some good connectivity, like our diesel controllers. This guy's got a Wi-Fi module in it and a nice big heatsink on the back to dissipate any excess energy as well. So really good, robust, tough product. You'll often see them installed in the middle of a field under some panels, and they can go for many, many, many years. There's one other product that's quite cool, which I'll tell you a bit about, is our voltage booster. So this is our solar voltage booster, and it literally just bolts onto the panel. You can see it's got some holes there, and it bolts into the panel, and essentially then connects from one panel into the next. What this actually does is it boosts the voltage of that specific panel. Now, it's not applicable for every application. We'll have a look at it in a few moments, but it's a really cool, nifty product, particularly when you're going for a 0.3, 0.5, maybe a 0.75 pump controller. And it really works with panels up to sort of about 340 watts only. All right, so something to consider there, the solar voltage booster, and we've seen those involved in some really cool applications around the world. Right, let's talk about the Microcare VSD pump controller. Now, we make two versions of that, a 230 and a 380 volt version. So 230 volts and a 380 volt version. Now, this one over here is typically used as for three-phase applications. And the pump range in this goes up to 5.5 kilowatts, which means if I've got a 7.5 kilowatt pump, this is not for that. Right? This is powering using the sun up to 5.5 kilowatts. The 230 volt then, we can be used in single or three-phase applications. So single or three-phase applications. So people often get confused, do I have a three-phase 230 volt pump controller? You do in the market. And they go up to about 3 kilowatts of the pump, where this guy over here, the single phase, he can only go up to about a 1.5 kilowatts. So that's the variety that we have there. Essentially two pump controllers, a 230 volt version, which is available in single or three phase, in single phase, up to 1.5 kilowatts. The more common ones are your 0.75 people have on their pool pumps, or a 1.1 kilowatt for a borehole. And then in three-phase application, a lot of your farmers would have them, they'll go up to a three-phase, a really good pump, by the way. Three-phase, 3 kilowatt, 230 volt pump controller. Really nice if you can get hold of it. This one over here is the 380 volts. He's in three-phase only, and he goes up to 5.5 kilowatts. What's very important about this guy is he has AC input as well, where this one does not. So if you've got a 5.5 kilowatt pump controller and you want a generator or AC coming in, you need to have some kind of changeover switch, where this one over here is already accommodating that. So there's AC input into that. So how does the pump controller work? Essentially, when the sun is out and the voltage is reached, the water starts to pump. And on the days when perhaps you don't have enough sun coming through, based on the spec of your panels, you do have the option of AC kicking in as well. So this is a really good application for areas where you want to pump water into holding tanks. But if you need direct water to be used perhaps on irrigation and you need it all the time, then you'll want some kind of backup as well. So there we go. Those are the pump controllers that we manufacture. So how do I size the correct panels? Because most people get the pump controller right, they put it with the pump, but they often don't get the sizing of the panels correctly. Now here in our manuals, on our website and on the data sheets, we can tell you exactly how much panels that you are needing. So here I'm going to pick up on the 230 volt first. That's the one that can be used in single and three-phase application. And on the manual, it tells me that I need a minimum voltage of 365 up to 550 volts. 365 up to 550 volts. And let's just take our usual panel here. I hope I can still can see me there in the screen there, right? 550 watt panel. It's one that we commonly use. And I know it's got an open circuit voltage more like of about 49, but let's just go for 50 to make our maths nice and easy. If we're telling you that this pump controller needs 365, that means 7 times 50 is 350. That's just under. I'm going to need a minimum of 8 panels to make sure that this pump works. So that's very important. On the voltage side, you need between 365 and 550 open circuit voltage to make sure that that works. So that's the voltage box. The other one is the wattage box. And we have a general rule of thumb here, just times 2 basically. All right, so if you've got a 1.1 kilowatt pump controller, with timesing about 2, 1.1 times 2, 2.2 kilowatts, you need at least 2.2 kilowatts of wattage in solar. So that's more or less how we measure as a guideline, but the specifics are right here available in our manual. Let's go up to the big boy now, the 5.5, the 380 volt. He will tell me here now that I need between 650 or 550 rather, and 850 volts. That's a lot of voltage needed. If I think of the panel that's only 50, I can need quite a bit to make sure that I get up the voltage to make sure that that pump actually works. So if I consider 850 volts and 50 volt panels, and I'm looking at more than 10 panels. That's going to be 500 volts. I'm looking more like 16 panels minimum to make sure that that pump works. So 16 times 550. And if I do a quick little sum here to make sure is this really going to work, 16 times 550 is 8.8 kilowatts. Now remember what I told you earlier? That's the one box you've got to take. The other one is the wattage. And if you've got a 5.5 kilowatt pump, you're going to need at least double. 5.5 times 2 means I need at least 11 kilowatts. So those 16 panels are actually not going to be enough. It might be enough on the voltage side, but not enough on the wattage side. And that's why you need 2 strings of panels there. Typically on a 5.5, you're looking at sort of 12 to 14 panels in a string to make up the voltage, and you'll need 2 banks of those panels to make up the wattage. So it gets a bit complicated there, but we are here to assist you. So you tell us what kind of pump you're using, what kind of application it is. We'll make sure that you're sizing the panels correctly. I often like to say to people, if you're going to just use the water to be filling into a holding tank on a farm or a small holding, then perhaps you can err on the lower side of the voltage. But where you're in an application where you want irrigation and lots of water, you're going to err on the side of on the higher side of the voltage. So that's quite important. Our manuals will guide you and give you the indication of what kind of panels to use and what kind of voltage and wattage to use as well. So just to recap, we've got 2 sets of controllers here, a 230 volt for single phase and 3 phase, 230 volts, and that's the sort of size range. Typically, you'll see it for your small boreholes, your pool pumps, your aquaponics guys, they like to use that kind of size pump controller rather. For your 5.5s, your 380 volts, they typically are used more for the applications of farming where we need irrigation So these are really amazing products. They're able to give you water in any application. If you go along to our website, you'll actually see some farmers in Underberg and Peru being able to pump water in remote locations where there's no Eskom or AC available, and they're able to irrigate or provide water for their cattle. So get hold of us. We'll tell you more about our incredible products. The Voltage Booster, of course, is there for the smaller applications, and we're more than happy to help you if you have any questions. So as always, like, share, and subscribe. And yeah, looking forward to seeing you next week here on our Let's Chat Solar. Just for now.